Baby is the size of a dragon fruit, side of guacamole, and a multi-tool. Week 19. Baby is the size of a grapefruit, a pint of Ben & Jerry's, and a pair of sunglasses. Week 18. The biggest thing this week is that baby is starting to develop a sleep-wake schedule, and baby is even starting to yawn in utero. Week 19. Baby's brain and nerve fibers are starting the process called myelination, which is the process of developing myelin, which is a fatty coating of insulation around the nervous system. Myelin enables nerve fibers to transmit electrical signals quickly. The process of myelination continues long after birth. In fact, the maturation of the brain doesn't fully complete until age 25, which is why when human babies are born, they don't walk right away. But because this process is beginning now at week 19, baby is starting to have more intentional and forceful movements, which mama should be able to feel now. Hi guys, it's Amanda with Eat, Pray, Crunch, and forgive me, I am looking a little bit haggard today because that is exactly how I feel. It has been an insane couple of weeks. Just a quick briefing of these last couple weeks. So I know I mentioned in my last update that I was scrambling to finish all of my continuing education hours for my massage license, and I did that. I had one more in-person class. I took a shiatsu class and got that out of the way, and I finished all of my online courses, and that was an insane scramble. And then, surprise, I went to then go renew my massage license because it was due on my birthday, which was this week. And lo and behold, it said my license had expired. So I'm not sure what exactly happened. Like, I was so sure that I had renewed my license last year. So I'm like having these like major doubts about my mom brain abilities. I'm like, is my mom brain so bad that I forgot to renew my massage license last year? I don't think that's what happened, but I guess it's a possibility because apparently it wasn't renewed in the state system. So I guess it's a good thing I haven't been practicing massage illegally because I'm busy being a mom instead right now. So I had to figure out what the whole process was that I had to go through and all the bureaucratic hoops that I had to jump through, fill out all this paperwork and pay all these fees to get my license reissued. So anyway, it was still good that I had done my continuing education because that was still due, but oh my god, it was a headache and it would cause me so much stress. But thank God that is mailed off now, and fingers crossed they give me my massage license back. So anyway, that's been going on, and we've had just an insane schedule just between some of the activities that the kids have been doing, and I've had all sorts of appointments. And then on top of that, Bill is actively looking for a job right now, so he's been busy with that. And he's also trying to get our garden started, which once he really gets going with that, I will do my first garden update of the year. So he's been busy with that. And then this last weekend, to celebrate my birthday, Bill and I went to one of the islands here in the Puget Sound called Canon Island. And we went to our favorite bed and breakfast that is actually closing next month. And so we really wanted to go one last time, and I'm so glad we did. I actually vlogged that trip, so that will probably be the next video coming up, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. It was a really amazingly beautiful, fun, adventurous trip. And the day after we got back, all four of us went down to the airport to pick up my parents because they actually went on an all the way around the world trip. They are amazing, and they were fulfilling a life dream. It was a 2-month trip. They started in Seattle, flew to Japan, and then made their way west all the way around the world. And 2 months later now, they arrived back in Seattle, and we were the ones who got to pick them up at the airport, and that was a big deal. We really missed them, and we're so happy to see them again. And it was a special day, so I vlogged that as well. So after my Camino Island vlog, I will probably be putting that up, so also keep your eyes peeled for that. So anyway, it's just been insane. And then in the meanwhile, somehow when we were on our little trip, I contracted pink eye, which is why I'm wearing my glasses right now, because my eye is healing from pink eye. I have no idea where I got that from. Nobody in the family has it, so random thing that I got this week. And then the big thing was today we had our anatomy scan, and I am so thrilled that we had our anatomy scan. I had been like excited and nervous at the same time, although not quite as nervous as I had been in my previous pregnancies for the anatomy scan, because in those pregnancies we found out the sex of the baby during the ultrasound. But this time, as you guys know, we already found out early. We found out at 13 weeks because we took the Harmony blood test. And so there wasn't that kind of nervousness going into it this time. It was more just a nervousness of, I hope baby is healthy and that everything looks good and that everything is okay. But also just excitement to see our little Bam Bam in there. So anyway, that's what we did this afternoon. My saintly mother-in-law, even though she had been with the kids all weekend, she came over today as well to hang out with them so Bill and I could go have our ultrasound. And I actually have some footage that I took from the ultrasound, so I will put that in here. Just a little undercover footage there. With my last two pregnancies, we went to a place where they actually gave you a DVD of the ultrasound, like without sound, but just, you know, the image of everything they did. And the place we're going to this time doesn't have that option. So Bill very sneakily brought our camera in, and he just had it like pointing at the screen the whole time. So that's how we got that footage. Anyway, so this was like the fastest anatomy ultrasound I have ever had. Like the technician guy, he was just like, he was efficient. He was like getting it done. I just felt like it took half the time that it did with my other pregnancies when I did this scan. But I guess he's just really fast at what he does. Yeah, so then he went and he talked with the doctor, and the doctor looked at the results, and everything looked clear. And the technician came back and said, no news is good news, which is exactly what we wanted to hear. You only end up talking with the doctor if something is wrong. We are so grateful that our little Bam Bam in there just looked perfectly healthy, and it's put my mind at ease a lot since I was a little bit nervous about that. So that was wonderful. And you guys, the third time, it's still so exciting when they put that wand on your belly and bam, there is like a whole little human being in there with like all of his body parts just right there on the screen. And unlike in my last pregnancy when I had pretty frequent ultrasounds because of the hematoma that I had that they were monitoring, this time this was the second ultrasound I had. I only had that first one at 6 weeks, and I haven't seen our baby since. And so it was just really exciting. Even though this is my third baby, it's still exciting. Like you see that little baby on the screen, you're like, oh, this is real. It's so cool, and it's emotional a little bit. Just like, oh, thank goodness. Like, he looks so good. He's moving around. I had actually had some coffee before I went, so he was like moving all around. He looked healthy. So even though I've been through this twice before, it's still a miracle every time. And when I have that anatomy scan, it's just like this, like, oh yeah, you know, yes, I've been having all these pregnancy symptoms and I even feel him in there and everything, but like seeing him, it's like, wow, this is really happening. Like, there's an actual baby in there, and that is our son in there, and it's just so cool. Oh, and they definitely confirmed, yes, it is a boy. We could tell. So that was definitely the highlight of this week. And so that was like the very tail end of our like insane crazy couple of weeks as well. It's actually going to really ease up for us these next couple weeks, which I am really glad. Oh, I should also say that as I mentioned in the intro to this video, it was talking about baby yawning, and we actually saw little Bam Bam yawning on the ultrasound today. It was so cute. His little mouth just opened wide open, and oh, it was so cute. So it was kind of cool that I was reading in the last couple weeks that babies start yawning, and there we saw it on the ultrasound. That was just so cool. And definitely feeling all of those movements as well. It's definitely getting more and more prominent, and I am starting to notice his wake and sleep schedules, which is kind of interesting. He's just like my other babies. He, you know, he has some wake times, you know, in the afternoon, and then again at night. He's our little night owl. He fits in well with his family. That's exactly what happened with my other babies. I remember they always seemed to wake up like around 10 o'clock at night and, you know, be somewhat active until, you know, 1 or 2 in the morning, and then they seem to go to sleep again. And that it's no different with Bam Bam. He seems to be on that little schedule as well. And it's just so cool that his movements are starting to get stronger. Still can't feel him from the outside yet, but I am definitely feeling him a lot more frequently from the inside. During the anatomy scan, I asked if my placenta is posterior or anterior, and said it was posterior. So I'm really glad about that because I had an anterior placenta with Sophie, and so it was harder for me to feel her movements because there was that extra padding of the placenta in the front. So I'm really glad that it's in the back this time, because that probably means I'll feel him a lot more this time, which is really cool. And especially since this is probably my last pregnancy, like I really want to feel all those movements this time, you know what I mean? So in terms of weight gain, so last week I reached a huge milestone for me, and that is, even though I started 10 pounds heavier in this pregnancy than I was in my last pregnancy, I reached the exact same weight on the scale that I was at the exact same week in pregnancy, last pregnancy. So that means like virtually that I've lost 10 pounds, if that makes sense. So, you know, even though I started 10 pounds heavier, I ended up at the same weight in the same point of pregnancy. So I was really thrilled about that. But, you know, it was short-lived. We went on our little trip and I was eating all sorts of things that my body is not used to. We were being served for breakfast, you know, a lot of processed meat like bacon and sausage and that kind of thing, which normally when we eat those things at home, we get the like pasture-raised, organic, like really as pure as we can get kind of meat, but when it's just like run-of-the-mill processed meat, like my body is not super happy with it. I have been eating gluten in moderation, but I ate a lot of gluten on this trip, and a little bit of cow dairy as well, and more sugar too, like just all these things that my body does not normally like. It sure tasted good, there's no doubt about that, but I could feel it in my body. It made me feel off, it made me feel fatigued and just a little bit sick. So it really was a reminder to me, like, this is why I believe in real food, right? Because when I don't eat real food, my body can feel it and I don't feel well. So that was actually a good little reminder. When I got home, I was like, oh, I need to cleanse my body. I've just been eating simple, small meals with a lot of fresh stuff because I just feel like I need to like flush that stuff out of my system now. But as a result of eating that, I gained another 3.5 pounds this week. Now, I know that that's just a matter of days, and so much of that is water weight and bloating, water retention, that kind of thing, which is my body's like inflammation response. Still trying to stay active, even though I was eating a lot of stuff that my body wasn't super happy with while we were gone. We were very active. We hiked around a lot. We did like 3 different hikes, and the last one we did was like at least a good 4 miles. Feeling pretty proud of myself for being just about halfway through pregnancy and doing a 4-mile hike. Now that we're back, I'm going to try to get back into my regular workout DVD elliptical exercise routine. One symptom that I've had a couple of days that I've been really feeling it has been dizziness. I actually had one particular day that it was really bad. It was like vertigo. After breakfast, my head just started spinning. I mean, I felt just like little dizzy spells here and there, but this one like wasn't going away. I like had to go lay down for an hour, you know, and I snoozed for a little bit, and that finally helped me to feel a little bit better. But I know it's normal. I've read all about it, like the dizziness in pregnancy. As long as it eventually does go away, which it did, your blood volume is increasing, and you know, all the hormones and everything. It just makes sense that you get these dizzy spells. And along with that, I've been continuing to get barometric pressure, headaches. So when the weather changes, which it has been a lot, last week was like rainy and nasty, and then this week has been amazing. It's like summer arrived all of a sudden. Today, it was like just about 80 degrees and sunny. So the weather has been changing, and when it does, I can feel it in my sinuses in here, and I just get these bad sinus headaches. In terms of cravings, I'm still having the orange juice craving, and particularly this week I have been craving spicy things, and I don't know what it is. It's like I want jalapeno peppers. I'm having like weird pregnancy cravings this pregnancy, right? Like when we were out this last weekend, when we went out to dinner, I was like, I gotta get myself like a spicy burger with jalapenos on it. And just like, you know, everything I've been eating, it's like I want it to be spicy. I want it to be spicy, and like especially spicy peppers. I don't know what it is. Like not like, you know, give you 3rd-degree burns in your mouth kind of spicy, but just like jalapeno kind of spicy, where, you know, there is some heat there. So I don't know what that craving is about, but I'm still like, just thinking about it, I'm like, I really want to go eat a jalapeno right now. Like a good cooked, a nicely seasoned cooked jalapeno pepper. Just sounds so good right now. And last but not least, now that I'm about halfway through my pregnancy, my fortress of pillowtude, as Bill calls it, the pile of pillows that I sleep with in our bed is now complete. I know I mentioned that I was sleeping with 2 king-size pillows on either side of me before. Well, now I have double stacked king-size pillows on each side of me. So there's like 2 levels of king-size pillows on each side of me, plus a pillow that I hug, plus the pillow for my head. It's a little ridiculous, but it's so comfortable, and I sleep really well with it. Oh, and the other thing I should mention about my sleeping arrangement is that I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but we ordered a Eco memory foam topper for our mattress, and you guys, it is like sleeping on a cloud. It is like heaven come down to earth. It is incredible. I have to tell you that my last pregnancy, starting just about this early actually, I was having a lot of hip pain because I felt like our mattress was so hard, which it's not that hard, but when I get pregnant and the loosey-goosey hips, like it was uncomfortable. And I actually had a Thermarest like camping pad underneath the sheet in my last pregnancy because my hips were so uncomfortable, and that was like the best solution we could come up with short term. I remember telling Bill in my last pregnancy, I was like, if we get pregnant one more time, we are going to get a memory foam topper. That's just how it's going to be. And so he agreed to it this time, and I ordered it. In fact, I'll see if I can find the one I got on Amazon because I really like it, and it's also free of all the like nasty foam chemicals. It's eco-friendly. It's a great mattress topper. So I will look for that, and if you guys are interested in getting one, I will link that down below because it's an amazing, amazing mattress topper. So that has made all the difference. Like, I have virtually no hip pain so far, knock on wood. I know that can change as pregnancy goes on, but I really credit a lot of that to this memory foam topper. It is so comfortable and my hips love it. So anyway, that is it for weeks 18 and 19 of my pregnancy. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel and you like what you see here, definitely consider subscribing and hitting the little notifications bell next to it so you can get notified with every video that I put up. So thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.